In this worksheet or little video, I want to talk about using a worksheet to input data for financial statement analysis. So let's start with where you would go to find some data. There are several places. I find the best place is to go to the horse of the mouth, if you will, or the primary source, which is the company. So when you go to Yahoo Finance, when you load up Yahoo Finance, there'll be a place to put in the quote or a quote lookup. In this case, we're going to look up Disney. That's the company that I've been using as of late in some of my examples. So you'll click on Disney, and that will send you to Disney's site, which is here. In Disney's site, again, you have a lot of data that you can find. I'll be sending you in and out of this particular website to find information about your company. One of the things I can't tell you, though, is that as of recently, maybe in the last 4 or 5 months, Yahoo Finance has reworked their entire statement here, the web page, and some things have changed. They've actually taken some things out, and I haven't been able to necessarily find them directly. So as I'm working through this, I am trying to revise our research so that we can go to quickly to find the data that we need. And we'll talk about that as we go through the course. Once you get to this statement, you want to go to Profile. When you go to Profile, when you go to the Profile, it will take a second for it to load up. And what we will find when this loads is in the left-hand corner here, we have information about the company, and here is the website. So when you click on that website, it will take you here to Walt Disney. This is the company website. It's not the park website. From there, you can click on Investor Relations if you want. You can go here to go to Reports. I've already gone through Investor Relations. I have it right here. So here's the Investor Relations page. And if you scroll down, you'll find annual reports. We need the last 4 years' annual reports. To get all the information we need, which is 5 years of data, we're going to need 4 years of annual reports. And when you click on these reports, again, they will load up. Here's 2015. And the data that we find for this is roughly around page 50 or so. So we have to go down here, find the information page that we want. And again, still scrolling. I think that's right around here somewhere. Scroll down till you find the page. Again, the page won't, in the Adobe Reader, won't exactly match the table of contents because the table of contents doesn't start at 0. I think it's right here, 54, 55, 56. It's right in here somewhere. Where'd it go? I apologize. I just saw it here a couple minutes ago. There we go. It's right here, I think. And I'm trying to find those pages. You might have to scroll down. So here we are. Here are the financial statements, consolidated statements of income. Again, you can see for 2015 statement, it goes 15, 14, 13. We're going to assume that these are revised statements for years 2013 and 14. They may or may not be, but we're going to assume that the company may have rewritten some of their financial statements. If we scroll down a little bit farther till we find the balance sheet only offers 2 years. So again, we're going to assume the 2014 may have been rewritten. This is the most recent data that we have. So if you go to 2014, again, here's the balance sheet there. You can see here's 14, and it gives us year 13. So again, to get 5 years of data, we need 4 years of annual statements, because the fourth year will have the most recent year, the fifth year of balance sheet that we need for our to put into the worksheet. Okay, another thing, when you're inputting this data, do not add the zeros, right? Leave the zeros off. Financial statement analysis is a process of dividing things. We're looking at relative values, not absolute values. So we can leave off the zeros. How we're going to use this ultimately is in a financial statement, or in a worksheet, excuse me. This worksheet is set up. Here is the data entry page. We will be adding the financial statement information into these boxes. The yellow boxes get input. The blue boxes have data. They're formulas. So don't try to enter anything into those cells. They should be locked. You shouldn't be able to anyhow. But you only need the data that's in the cells. Some of the information, like the stock price, the dividends, those are things that you're going to gather again from Yahoo Finance. You'll gather that information in some of the research activity that I ask you to do for the course. So there were 3 financial statements. There's the income statement. Excuse me, didn't want that. There's the income statement, the balance sheet, and there's the statement of cash flows. We'll talk about industry average ratios in a second. The statement of cash flows. Again, you're just going to put in the line items that you have there. So let's talk about what this spreadsheet does. For right now, it provides us with financial ratios. All the ratios are calculated. It provides us with what are referred to as common size statements. What's the relative size of the line items within the balance sheet or within the income statements? How much of sales is gross profit? So in 2014, the company had 23% gross profit. So that means what? After they produced everything they're going to produce in the form of cost of goods sold and or services provided, the gross profit shows how much money is left off to pay for the rest of the items. Some of these also provide us with average numbers. So you can look at what is the average cost of goods sold or gross profit over the time frame. Again, roughly 21 cents out of every dollar collected is left over for the company. That implies that 78.85 cents out of every dollar goes to the production of goods and or services. The percentage change income. These items look at relatively items in relative to change, right? So how has income changed or sales changed over these years? You can see that obviously go down here to net income. Income is on average has increased or had a 16.15% is the percent change in income from year to year. Assets as a percentage of sales is obviously a great place. We can say, well, how much assets do we need in order to provide the level of sales that are being provided? What about capital structure? How does the company finance its operations? We can, again, look at these line items and tell, right, if you look here, right, long-term debt, roughly this last year has been about 32%. That must mean 67% is the equity portion. This is in book values. But if you look at market values, you can see that equity is about 87% of the financing that goes on inside the company. Moving forward, what else can we find? We can find a lot of other information. There's something called the DuPont analysis. We'll talk about that later. Cash conversion analysis is a liquidity or a short-term analysis. We can look at something referred to as market value added. This is economic value added. You're going to read a paper about that a little bit later. So that will be coming our way. You can also look at free cash flow, analyzing the cash flow of the company. that's utilized for valuation processes. And then finally, in the end, we have a structure. We'll do this project towards the end of the course called pro forma forecasting. The outcome of this, once we analyze and project the strategic plan or the things the company wants to do moving forward, we can pro forma means we're going to predict. So we're going to predict financial statements. You actually have a tool that will predict 10 years into the future. If we have financial statements into 10 years, 15 years total, 5 years historic and 10 years in the future, we can then create the ratios and look at how the strategic plans of the company are going to alter and change the financial structure of the company and its financial soundness. So this is a very powerful spreadsheet, and it will do lots of good things for us. Just a couple of things. Number one, remember, we're going to go from right to left. So the year 2015, or the most recent year you have, will be the very first year you input. These will then go backwards in time from there. You don't put zeros. You don't need the zeros, right? In addition, some line items need to be negative. Some spreadsheets won't show negative, right? They do the subtraction when they create the statements, but they don't necessarily show the line item as being a negative number in parentheses. Once you've done that, again, please save this spreadsheet so you don't have to do it a million times. What I would like you to do for me is when you complete this at the end of the first week, you're going to get a copy of these ratios, just copy them and paste them into that Word document. One of the things I tell you in the Word document, if you follow the instructions, you're going to copy these as a picture. So you do paste special. So when you do that, let me see if I have a Word document open. I don't know what this Word document is. I hope it's nothing personal. It's not really. But what you want to do here is, again, if we go back to this worksheet, right? That's the thing I want to do. I'm going to copy, right? So you copy that worksheet. You go to a Word document that you want to put it in. I'm sorry, I want to get... So you're going to go to this document. Sorry, that's in landscape. I want to put this in. Let me get a new file for you. Sorry. Let's just get a new. Of course, you'll just open the Word document for the pre-assignment so you can input this. Make sure the page layout is right. Want it to be portrait. It is portrait. So now what you do, go to the home page. We've already copied it. So you go here. Don't just do paste. If you do paste, what will happen? Well, let's do it. If you do paste, what you'll find out is it's going to go across the page and you won't be able to see the whole thing. It's going to input this as a worksheet, and since it's not formatted for the size of the Word document for a page, you just see it goes off the page, and we can't have that. So again, let's just get rid of that, right? So I get rid of that. I really didn't like that. So we go back. So now you go to Paste Special, and right here is a little thing. It says Picture. So now it's in there as a picture. And that's what you want. Now that it's a picture, now you can format this. So what I do is I click it. So you'll see see this little tab here. These little tabs show up. Now I go down here and just go to Wrap Test and just pick Square. What that does is that will now allow you to manipulate the picture. So if you want it to be a little smaller, you can, oops, I didn't grab it right. You need to grab this little corner and you can make it smaller. And then you can move it around the page and it will stay where you put it. Okay? So again, that is how you're going to input this into those worksheets. Again, one of the things that I tell you in this exercise is that you might not get the financial statement analysis in right. You may have questions. You don't understand the financial statement has an item that you don't know what it means and you don't know where to put the item. That's okay. Fill in everything you can, write down your questions, and when you submit this information to me, I'll look at it, I'll try to address the issue. Maybe we can do a conference call to figure out what to do, and then we'll get the statements in correct. We have 2 weeks to get this information in correctly, but input the information or upload it to me so that I can determine that we're okay. And once you get the final word, we're okay, we're good to go, we're good to go. And then we can start the financial analysis. The last thing, and there's a separate video on this that talks about industry average ratios. There's a separate video where to get this, how to analyze it, how to input it. So it's a separate video. It's in this section here about problem videos or the videos for the pre-assignment. So I'll input that. It'll be good and ready to go. See you in class.